Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm going to be drawing Kel'Thuzad from Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft. Now, I haven't done a WoW drawing in quite a long time now, so I figured it was about time. Plus, I kind of always wanted to draw this guy because he's somewhat interesting, lore-wise, so here we go. Now, Kel'Thuzad is quite a key pawn in the overall story in Warcraft. He wasn't always a lich. He started off as a human. In the game, he is the boss of Naxxramas, both at level 60 and the Joke that is level 80. So, he was in a Council of Six, which was a very esteemed organization, the High Council of Kirin Tor, that is, and they were basically the rulers of Dalaran. And he was very fascinated with the dark magics. He wanted to gain access to the Guardian's Library, which was in Karazhan, and it was like all the knowledge that Medivh had gathered. But the library was lost, and he was pretty pissed about it, so he started looking into necromancy, dark magics, raising the dead, etc. Of course, his pals weren't very thrilled about that, so they were like, dude, you need to stop, and he called them pussies, basically, in fewer words. Now, at some point, the Lich King obviously wanted to take over the world because he's bad like that. And he started like calling various mages and people that were in power in the world back then, calling them to him in Northrend. And Kel'Thuzad just happened to be one of these guys. So he heard the voices in his head, and instead of being institutionalized, he left Kirin Tor and started going towards Northrend, hearing the call of the Lich King. So he got there, and he was promised like eternal life and all this junk in change for his loyalty to the Lich King, and of course he accepted. And then he was sent to sort of a mission. He was sent to Lordaeron, and he had a lot of money left from selling his stuff before he left towards Northrend. So he founded what is called the Cult of the Damned, which is basically, he went to all these rednecks and told them that he would offer them eternal life and happiness in turn for their services to the Lich King. And you know, they all accepted, obviously, because they were poor as fuck and they were tired of working. So the cult grew pretty rapidly in the span of 3 years. And at some point, the Lich King decided he wanted to bring in the big guns, which is the plague. So he brought the plague and put his cauldrons in what is now Western Plaguelands in the fields. We've all done those missions at some point, at least the ones of us that played WoW. So the cauldrons were all good. They started infecting everyone. Obviously, the ones in the Cult of the Damned were like super thrilled to gain their immortality through undeath, etc. And Kel'Thuzad was actually the one that named the army the Scourge. So he came up with that shit. Pretty clever. He eventually got to Brill with the plague, and unfortunately for him, Jaina Proudmoore and Arthas were there, so they kind of cock-blocked him, and Arthas started chasing his ass all the way to Andorhal, where he is, and I don't know if he is there anymore after the whole revamp to the world, but he was there in the past, and he had like his little cauldron of stuff. So Arthas killed him because he was a weak-ass motherfucker, and before he died, he told Arthas that Mal'Ganis was actually responsible for the plague, and he should chase him all the way to Stratholme. And he did, because Arthas was like very, very pissed about the whole issue. And I've actually done a drawing of Mal'Ganis as well, so feel free to check that out. It's on the channel. So eventually Arthas went to Northrend, killed Mal'Ganis, got the Frostmourne, gave up his humanity and became a sort of a slave or a henchman for the Lich King. He came back, and Kel'Thuzad told him that he needs to go to Silvermoon and take over the Sunwell. So he went there, he killed everyone in Silvermoon, he was victorious in that battle, and he put Kel'Thuzad's remains in the Sunwell, and he came out as the Lich we all know him today. So, yeah, as they traveled and shared stories, Kel'Thuzad told him that the Scourge were just like mere tools, and they weren't like the Lich King's main plan. His main plan was to summon the Warlock, or the Eredar Warlock Archimond, and he would wreak some major death and destruction. So, after all of that, we all know the story from that point on, I guess. A lot of bad stuff happened, and eventually the forces of good prevailed, and all of that boring shit. Anyway, let's talk about the drawing. This took about 6.5 hours. I did not expect it to take this much because, let's be honest, this guy is pretty slender. So it's not like there's a lot of detail to put on him, but I guess I spend most time on the chains, really, because he does have a lot of those. And he has a lot of small armor pieces that I had to take time to detail out and make sure that they stood out as 3D, etc. So that's about it. Mostly done with mechanical pencil, just because I didn't really feel like sharpening pencils, plus I was watching shows during it, so it breaks my flow, stopping all the time to sharpen pencils and shit, losing focus and all of that. So yeah, that's about it. Please rate this video if you liked it, and stay tuned for my next ones. Bye bye.